What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I want to show you something that I am weirdly excited about. It is a brand new card game for Haikyuu. It's Babacar Break. Babacar being an abbreviation, kind of a portmanteau of volleyball card game. Babacar, love it, big fan. And the reason why I'm weirdly excited about this is because I didn't even know what Haikyuu was the other day until I found out this card game was coming. I saw an advert for this in a Japanese magazine, and I went, oh, new card game, what's that? Volleyball card game, that's a bit weird. Oh, it's a very popular manga/anime over in Japan. Okay, that's fine. And then in my Japanese lesson, I casually mentioned that there was a volleyball card game coming, and my teacher, who is not a huge anime manga person but lives in Japan, so is obviously seeing all of this stuff, went, Haikyuu! And I'm like, oh, okay, so apparently it's a big thing. Apparently this is quite a popular manga/anime, and I've realized there's only like 400 issues of the manga, so I can read that one in a month or two and get completely up to date. And there's a new trading card game, and also some of the cards look like this, and I'm like, you know what? I think we need to have a little bit of a look about this. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you about the card game. I'm going to tell you everything we need to know. It's actually launching this week over in Japan. It comes out over on, I believe Friday is the official release date. So we're going to have a chat about it now. And then hopefully soon I'm going to get some of these dropped, because yes, obviously I'm going to pre-order a bunch of this. Come on, mate. And hopefully soon I'll be able to actually tell you, a bit more about it while I show you some cards, as an example. Sound like a plan? Excellent. Now, in terms of products, we're talking about a brand new card game, first set. So it is, as you would generally expect, there is a booster box, and there are two starter decks, two different starter decks. And each of the starter decks is set up so you can play it as a deck out of the box. Shockingly enough, a ready-to-play 40-card deck, along with, a rule sheet and a play sheet and all of that. Absolutely standard. And then we've got ourselves a set of cards where you get 6 cards per pack, 18 packs per box. Please bear in mind that Japanese card games, they don't have like 12 card packs like we do. In Japan, 6 card packs are incredibly standard. Japan tends to go for smaller, cheaper packs of cards. That is just a standard thing. Even Pokemon and One Piece and all of that in Japan have smaller, cheaper packs of cards. Sound like a plan? Excellent. And there's 90 cards in total, I believe, that are available to be found in here, which is a slightly smaller set than some we might see, which I don't really raise as a particularly negative. It's more just, okay, that's where we are. Well, over 90 cards is what it says, so, we'll read into that as we will. Now, one of the big selling points of the game so far, and I think you kind of have to do this nowadays when you're launching a new card game based on a manga, it does include original illustrations drawn by Haruichi Furudate specifically for this card game. That is, of course, the mangaka responsible for the manga in the first place. And just a side note from your old pal Wassy, when we're talking about stuff like this, please remember, the manga came first. The anime is an adaptation of the manga. So the card game is kind of based on Haikyuu as a whole, it seems. There is obviously lots of anime in here, but Haikyuu did start life as a manga, and I find that fairly important. Now, what's really interesting here is in terms of the art and the illustrations. Now, if we have a look at the starter decks, for instance, we are told specifically the starter deck is made up of character cards with original illustrations and event cards using illustrations from the original comic. Whereas in terms of the booster box, we're told that the card illustrations are mainly original, but also include famous scenes from the original comics. Point is, lots of new stuff here, but it's not all brand new original artwork. That is very, very important. But remember, guys, I've told you this many, many times before. General rule when it comes to this is look for artist credits. If the card has an artist credit, it means that it's been commissioned and somebody's actually drawn it. If there isn't an artist credit, generally that means that it's just taken from somewhere else, the manga or the anime. Although having said that, sometimes on some card games you'll see that it's taken from the anime, but the lead animator of that particular scene or episode is credited. So it's not always that simple, but still, it's there and that's important. The other thing which is being released are a set of sleeves. There are 4 sleeves which are coming, 62 sleeves per pack. Cool. I really like the bottom right sleeves. I don't understand them yet. And legitimately, I've pre-ordered the starter decks. I've pre-ordered a couple of boxes. I am intending to start reading this, and if I like it, I will just read all 400 and roll from there. And then hopefully, these sleeves will make sense to me. But the point is, this is not just a quick, lazy, let's just do a set of this and see where we're going. The fact that there's 2 starter decks rather than 1, the fact that they've gone and made 4 sets of sleeves, the fact that we've got a bunch of new illustrations in here, essentially all this adds up to they are putting the effort in with this one. This is a kind of thing that could easily be done as a cheap tie-in, but it's not. And one of the things I adore about this, and this is one of the things that really caught my eye, this is a full-on volleyball trading card game. This is not, it's based on volleyball. No. This is, you're playing a game of volleyball on a card game. So, essentially, the phases here are the serve phase. Or the start phase, draw phase. So, if you have a look at player B there in the yellow or green, one of the two, I'm colorblind. But basically, player A on the far left serves. And then player B has got start phase, draw phase, receive phase, toss phase, attack phase, end phase. And then there's a block phase in there as well. And then player A has got start phase, draw phase, receive phase, toss phase, attack phase. And then end, but there could be a block in there as well. And essentially, what you're doing in the card game is one player serves, and then we've got attack and defense, and you're essentially trying to block, and then you lose the set when either you run out of characters or your defense isn't high enough, and then, your defensive points are less than your opponent's offensive points, and then you lose a set, and the first player to win 2 out of 3 sets wins. That's weird, right? I love this. I absolutely adore this. It's such a bizarre thing. When we're so used to card games, which are, I'm going to get characters and I'm going to build up my attack power and I'm going to attack into your, you or your base or your shields or whatever you want to call them right now. And then I'm going to deplete them and then maybe I have to attack one more time and then I win the game. I love these card games. I love these card games, all right? But most of the card games I play are some variation of I am going to remove your characters and then attack into you or some kind of base until you go to 0 and I win. And I know that functionally, here it's still a case of I'm going to build up my attack so it's higher than yours and get an attack through, and I got to do that 2 out of 3 times. But it just seems a little bit different here, and that makes me genuinely very, very happy. This is a bizarre kind of card game, which seems very different to a lot of what we've seen in the past. But the fact of the matter is, I've been having a good read up on this since I found out this was a thing. And basically, Haikyuu, it's a very popular manga. The license here is actually very cool. And it seems like it's Takara Tomy, who are actually the same people that publish Lorcana over in Japan. They are the people handling this. And it really seems like they are taking it very seriously, putting an awful lot of effort in, and treating this like it could be the next big card game. I don't know whether it will, but I am very excited to give it a try. Now, one very important point we need to answer here, because I'm sure this is a question a lot of you are going to be asking as you're watching this video. Hey, Wassy, what about a Western release? don't hold your breath. Frankly, is what I would say here. I would say don't hold your breath. I am not saying it will not get a Western release. I do not have that information. What I am saying is that this strikes me as one of those card games where the license is significantly stronger in Japan than it is in the West, which gives it less chance of making a trip over. And honestly, with the market as it is in the West right now, it's a very saturated card game market. Games have to bring something truly different and unique, something really special to stand out. And although I do think this game absolutely stands out in terms of, having volleyball mechanics and all of that, I worry that the license isn't quite strong enough. So I would legitimately love to be wrong about this. But I do think the sensible money is that it's not coming over. Having said that, I was around when Digimon launched, and Digimon was a Japanese exclusive, and there was absolutely no word initially whether we would get a release of Digimon in the West. And then I remember being out for a haircut and somebody messaging me going, "What's have you seen? Digimon's been announced for a Western release," and having to rush home after my haircut making a video about Digimon getting a Western release. I am not saying that Babacar is going to be getting a Western release. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying the odds are against it. But we said that before, and I would love to be wrong. So there we go. That's what you need to know. There's your basics of the game. It's launching on Friday with 2 starter decks and a booster set. And actually, I haven't even told you yet that every box comes with 1 of 6 promo cards. There we go. Now I've told you. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Do you like Haikyuu? Are you hyped about this game? Have I said anything ridiculous about the anime or manga during the course of this video, which I will feel silly about when I find it later? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about, apparently volleyball card games now, and a whole bunch of other card games. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.